Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Had another great trip this past weekend with my friends. We went to the usual spot. Water conditions were kind of sketchy out there. It was like, even though the swells were around four feet or so, but they were coming in pretty fast. So we opted to go to our regular spot and just enjoy the calm conditions. Visibility wasn't too bad. You can see some areas it was kind of it was a hazy 5 feet, but over here, where we got to deeper water, it was around 20 feet, slightly hazy, but still very workable. First part of the morning, we didn't really see too much. We saw a ton of these greenlings all over the place. And they were almost more common than the blue rockfish that we typically see. There's a few perch here and there, nothing like the crazy 15 inches that we'd usually see during the winter months. For some reason, I guess the water temperature changed up and they might have moved out into deeper water again. But we did come across a few pockets here and there. This is probably one of those places where we did find a small school of them. The first part of the morning, it was all just rockfish, perch, greenlings. We didn't really see too many of the big guys out there. It doesn't happen until later in the afternoon. So here I just shot a little kelpie. That was it was okay size. Actually, maybe about 30 minutes prior to this shot, I came across a pretty good lingcod. I had actually left I just shot a rockfish and I left it down at the bottom. I grabbed my second gun and then went back down to check on it, and I nearly landed on top of this 30+ inch lingcod that was stalking the rockfish I just shot. But because of my positioning, because I landed right on top of him, I spooked him out of the area and I couldn't get a clean shot on him, so it was a missed opportunity. And here again, I'm basically doing the same thing. I just shot a rockfish I intend to keep, but I left it down at the bottom to see if it would attract any lingcod that might be in the area. More searching around, seeing and checking all the ledges. That's what lingcod like to do. They like to hang out on the ledges, and they'll typically just watch the rockfish that are in the area. They'll just sitting there waiting to ambush them. So that's what I'll always like to do, is just look around, check for these drop-offs like this right here. See, there's a pinnacle there and then it drops off to a deeper area. And right here, my buddy just shot himself a nice 20-inch cabezon. He found it right under me. I was just cruising by and I saw him make a drop. Next thing you know, he's coming back up with this this fat little cabezon. Here we're measuring it out, and yeah, it came out to be at 20 inches. The total length of the measuring tape on my gun is 22 inches. So I deliberately cut it to 22, so it makes it much easier to measure. To just measure out lingcod. Some more searching around. Yeah, nothing much happening in this area. There again, my friend left his fish down there to see if he could coax out any lingcod that might be hiding nearby, but no one's home in this spot. Eventually we move out of the area. And right here, nice 30-incher right there. Put the shot across the cheek, secured the flopper on there. Here it starts trying to do its death roll, but you know, you got to get down there and secure it. But you're getting a whole shot of me hauling this thing back up. So this one came in at about 30 inches, a little 30 and maybe a quarter inch. Still nice. The one I lost last time, it came in at around 35 inches. Much bigger, but that one, after I shot it, broke off. So here it's braining it as you should. Yeah, these guys, man, they're in the winter, they're closer to shore, so you're gonna find them out there. So if you've just started watching any of my videos, I began bringing out two guns on my dive trips. I've got this 82 centimeter pathos, which I've been using for years now. And lately I've just added a custom made 90 centimeter inverted roller to the arsenal. And that 90 centimeters is what I use primarily for making these longer shots, meaning 20-foot plus shots. You know, with this Pathos 82, I'm able to make at best like a 15-foot shot, and the spear is still able to punch through a fish. But with this new 90 centimeter one, I can make much longer shots, and you know, not worry about the spear just bouncing off the fish when it does make contact. I think the only time when I'm not going to bring a second gun is probably going to be on a bad visibility day. Or I might just not, you know, get to use the 90 centimeter. Especially when the visibility is like less than 10 feet. I mean, what's the point? You know, I'll probably just keep it on the float as a backup. But, you know, I won't be making any long shots with it on those bad visibility days. So here, I'm just checking the ledges again. Here's a pinnacle. There's bait fish. Now you just check around the pinnacle. See if there's any lingcod or any other predator hanging out in the area. Those are the two signs, man. It's just looking for those, looking for the pinnacles, those ledges, and then also looking for rockfish that are hanging out above the pinnacles. Whenever you see these deep holes, these crevices like this, make sure you shine a light in there, because you never know what's hiding. So I think here, I came across an opali. Got spooked and started swimming away from me, but it didn't get away in time. Tagged him right there. So that's about a 10-foot shot. It's just right for an 82 centimeter. At least with my band setup, it was able to make it over the fish and punch through. Well, it was the soft part of the fish, but so you could see I was able to tag it still. And make a good, put a good hold on it. Yeah, after this, I did a few more drops, and then we didn't really see anything else worth shooting, and eventually called it. There was actually a nice olive that dove into this little crevice, but it went too far in. I didn't want to risk losing the spear. So we're calling it. We ended up packing up and just going home with what we had. It was an all around good dive. We had a good time. and you know, conditions were great. So hopefully we'll get the same thing next time. Thanks for watching.